Okay, hello and welcome back, Squirrel Nation. I hope you are all having an outstanding day. Today we're diving in. So I have a few things I would like to discuss in this video, and hopefully we get the opportunity. First is I plan to practice my hunter builds. So I traditionally I have been more of a feather, like six feather player or a six assassin, or I now have mixed in divinity mage or divinity warlock, which I feel very comfortable with. So to me, the other meta build that I need to work on is hunters, because traditionally I have just never really gone for hunters. They're not a preference for me. So I want to work on that. Like we discussed in yesterday's video, at the beginning of a season is a great time to work on your weaknesses, and because you have a lot of time to grind games, to practice, right? You also are probably going to play, different competition than you normally play, so it's just a good time to experiment. So anyways, I would love to go hunters today. I have a concept of the build progression in my head already, so that's the way it's going to go. One cost I'm trying to pick up would be Tusker. I want to get an E Ranger. I chose the Tusker over E Ranger because I would prefer to have a tank than to have DPS early in the game. So yeah, that's basically that simple. There we go, and we'll sit right there. But anyways, okay, so that's one thing. And then another thing came up in the comments from Brit Witz, shout out to you, is they were asking about transitioning, and they were kind of pointing out like we we realized that we had a difference in definition of transition. So to me, transition is going from your early game pairings, so like pre-round or pre-level 6, to your end game synergy team, right? That end game team that's going to carry you. And Britwitz brought up the point that to them, what a transition was basically switching away from something because it's being contested by other players, right? And I can empathize with that definition for sure. And it definitely is something that happens to a lot of you, I know. And so I want to discuss that a little bit, and we will discuss that as we kind of get the opportunities throughout this game. So one thing on that, and this is a big point I want to make to people, is if you have selected a team comp that ends up being heavily contested, you already made a mistake. Something about what you did is wrong. And let me give you an example. So right now gives me a great example. The person I fought just already has a 2-star Agaris Ranger, and I already know that I'm going to try to go hunters. So I already know that person's going hunters for sure. So I'm already contested by one team for hunters, and they already have one of the hunters that I want, and it's already 2-star, right? So they're only one team, right? So, and the general rule is as long as it's only you and somebody else, it's okay, right? That's kind of, the community has accepted that as a generally acceptable rule. But just all these things you're doing, you have to consider those, right? You have to be looking at this throughout the early game and deciding what people are going for. Like the first person, Glacier Knight, probably 6 Warrior. This person's probably going Divinity Mage. The next person, probably Warrior. We have another Mage. We have probably oh, that's me, but yeah. So, and then we have a Feather, right? So I'm already predicting what people are going. Are your predictions always right? No, they're not always right. You guys have seen games that I posted on YouTube that I was wrong, and at the end of the game I said, I chose a build that a bunch of other people ended up going for. So what you need to do in that case is you need to go look at your gameplay and understand what you did wrong, right? What was it that made your prediction turn out to be inaccurate? And I am not tracking how I'm doing in these games. Okay, so we're not on a streak at all. Okay, real quick, let me adjust myself. So I'm just gonna hold those for now. Okay, so instead of thinking of a second transition, and sorry, let me finish Britwitt's point. So the point was, they were saying that if in a game, if I go for a build, like let's say I go for 6 Warrior, and it ends up that 3 other people are going for 6 Warrior, and it's contested, then a transition is me switching away from 6 Warrior that 3 other teams are going for. right? And I wanted to point out to them, and we discussed this in the comments, is if you transition away, if you do a second transition, okay, so first transition is you go from all your early game pairs, like I got a Skybreaker, I'll transition away from that. If you transition away from your early game, that's your first transition. And then if you transition again, I count that as a second transition, okay? And if you do a second transition, you are extremely likely to lose the game, okay? And the reason you are very likely to lose the game is because at higher and higher levels, people are more and more aggressive. And the weakest point of any team composition is when you're transitioning, right? We've all felt that. Like when I switch out this 2-star Skybreaker for some 1-star or for some other unit, I'm probably, my team's going to be weak and vulnerable at that point, right? Or the other hand is I keep this Skybreaker in forever because I can't get another 2-star, right? Like I can't get a 2-star Stone Spirit, so I'm just sitting on this Skybreaker forever and I have this gold just sitting here on my bench, right? Or let's say I get my Pirate Captain, which I want, but he's 1-star. Do I switch him out for a Skybreaker, right? Like, so hopefully it's clear what I'm saying is, or hopefully it's understandable of why when you're transitioning, you're weak. Okay, but so you're weak, and wait, let me organize this real quick. It looks like we're going towards a warrior comp, by the way. Okay, so you're weak when you're transitioning. We covered that. We covered, so if you do a second transition, what will happen is not only are you probably not going to get into top 3, you're probably going to be 7th or 8th, right? And the reason for that is you've now made you've made yourself weak twice. Your weakest point is transitioning, and if you transition twice, you're weak twice. So the point that I was kind of trying to make, and we discussed in the comments, is so if you transition to something that 3 other people decide to go to, you just need to accept the mistake. I've already made one mistake, but I need to write it out, okay? And writing it out means don't pivot away, don't transition to another comp, because if you do that, you're probably going to lose. So what you need to do is you need to compete with them and quickly. So for this video, we're going to talk about how to compete with people. If you find yourself competing for pieces, how can you manage that situation? So that's kind of what I want to talk about. Or I will talk about if the opportunity presents itself in today's video. Let's go like this. And yeah, we're still sitting there. This unicorn trick. And that gets me to 20 gold, so unicorn always paying off. And sorry, one other point I was trying to make is transitioning. We talked about second transition, why that can be bad. We talked about, we're going to talk about how to compete if you are sharing a unit pool. So I'll just dive into that because I can't remember my last point. So if you're sharing a unit pool, what you want to do is you need to think about re-rolling more aggressively, and you want to grab key components, okay? So if I know somebody's going hunters, for instance, right, then I need to start thinking about what are the key hunters, what are the core hunter units, and if you grab them, then it's going to discourage somebody else from getting them. Because so for instance, in hunters, Wind Ranger is a core hunter, right? It's a hunter that you absolutely have to have in a marksman team. So if I grab an E-Ranger, I'm scaring other players from going hunter because they know that I'm contesting it, right? Or like this person is going Siren. Like this game, I really shouldn't go hunter. I already know I shouldn't go hunter, but I'm going to because I want to practice hunter, right? And also, in this case, this is exact situation. I'm sharing a pool with one other player. So let's kind of let's monitor throughout this game how it works out with me sharing a pool with this other player. Also notice the Feather Druid, we're going to be sharing Wind Rangers with the Feather Druid too, okay? So there we go. Right now I'm considering building my front line up. And see, we're in that awkward transition stage because neither of my 2-stars are in my long-term plans, right? And now my bench is kind of getting full, and I'm close to a lot, but I'm not there. Same thing with E-Ranger. Like, I don't want to put in a 1-star E-Ranger. She's just not that strong. and it would just be hurting me, right? But then I have items I want to put on her. You could just feel this discomfort in a transition, right? So transitioning is uncomfortable in a lot of games. Um, and we're just monitoring. Yeah, so our competition, we're going to be competing with the last place for Wind Rangers, and the person in fourth place, we're just going to be competing with flat out. We're probably going for the same comps. So what that comp is going to be for me is I want to get 3 Warrior, 3 Hunter, and actually I don't really want to use Skull Hunter, but I will use him for my 3 Hunter buff if need be. This is hard spot. So see, and this is can be your issue on transitions. Okay, we're getting rid of one of them, because if I do use them, it's going to be momentary. Also, this I will put onto E Ranger because I for sure am going to use her. And anyways, you can feel the discomfort with transitioning. And the other thing, oh, that was the other thing I wanted to say about transitions. So transitions heavily correlate to your economy, because if you're competing with somebody, so let's go back to the person we're competing with. They are at 21 gold, okay? I'm at 34 gold. So I have a slight economy lead. But if you look at them, they're so much better off than me. They have a 2-star E-Ranger. They already have the 3 Hunter buff. They got their Dwarf Sniper. They got their Siren, right? They are looking good. And another thing is, though, they're going for 6 Hunter. So that is where we disjoint. So I'm not going to be competing with them for the front line, right? And if I get my front line and they go 6 Hunter, or 6 Hunter, then I should do well. Okay, cool. So that I can use him instead of him, and him I will put in. Now I'm going to lose my warrior, my 3 warriors. So it's like, do I switch him out for Tusker and get the beast, or do I not? It becomes those things. And in this case, yeah, you can feel it. Transitioning's uncomfortable. But anyways, so my only advantage over the person I'm competing with is my economy. Okay, so they're re-rolling and spending, which is good for them because that's how they're getting certain stuff. So notice they must be re-rolling because he only went to 28 gold. Okay, so but here's the thing: he's at level 6. So my true pieces that I'm aiming for are epics, all right? I want a pirate captain. I want a Doom. I want Siren. I also want to get a Tide Hunter, ideally, like something like that. So I can go for level. If I try to simply do what they're doing, then it's unlikely to go well for me because I'm already behind them. Hopefully this point is clear. Is if you try to simply copy what somebody else is doing, but you are already behind them, then the expectation is for you to simply stay behind them. So this does come into transitioning. And I know, and I realized when Britwit made we had our discussion on YouTube, I realized this is why transitioning is so complicated. It's not just one thing that's an easy answer, right? There's a lot of nuance to transitioning. Okay, so anyways, in this case, my plan is I'm going to econ up, I'm going to level aggressively, and then I'm going to try to be the one to get the epics, because the person I'm competing with has already beat me to the low level marksman, right? And there we go. Okay, so here we go. Here's one part of transition. We get rid of something we want. And Tusker is not really in my endgame build either, but he gives the beast synergy, which I do want in my endgame build. And he also introduces the 3 warriors. Okay, so now my synergies are actually getting kind of close to what I want. And actually, let's adjust our positioning here. Something like this. Yeah, like that's okay. Warrior. Okay, I'm not paying attention enough. The wolves. So now we lose to the. Yeah, we probably lose to the wolves. Three hunters are very helpful, or 3 warriors are very helpful against the wolves, but unfortunately, I got my marksman killed early, so I'm not sure I'll have the damage. But who knows? Maybe we get lucky. Yeah, see, my 3 hunter. Anyways, that's positioning, just not paying enough attention. But okay, manage my board here, and I can probably get rid of him at this point. He's better than the reason I'm holding Abyssal Guard is because I can switch out Stone Spirit, and then if I get a Siren, I'll already have my Marine synergy. So that's why I'm holding on to him. And anyways, let's look. Where's our competition? We're watching him. Okay, and actually our competition is pivoting away from hunters. So, do they stay pivoted away from hunters? Are they scared because they see me and they don't want to compete, so they're just getting off of it? Or are they having higher hopes in their other options? And their other option seems to be they're going towards 6 warrior, maybe. Oh no, there we go. They got their hunter back on. I'm not sure why they're picking. Oh, I think they're thinking of going warlocks. I guess warlocks. I would assume warlocks. Okay. So, anyways, watching this. Unfortunately, our lose streak is pretty weak, but our health is it's not great, but it's okay. We're in an okay spot. I can level still. Let's see how these games go. If I'm winning, I'm going to actually level here because it will give me a level 7 shop for next round, and then I won't miss my interest. And it looks like we are going to win. But I will wait a little longer just to, yep, so we are going to win. So that brings me to 49. Victory gold to 50, 5 interest, plus 15 out of 16, bam, I level. So perfect. Okay, so we got that on. Here we go. So now, should I reroll at level 7 to get these, or should I keep pressing up to level 8? That becomes a question. So we look over here what he's doing. Yeah, he's kind of transitioning away. He already got a pirate captain too. This guy is getting super lucky. So he's getting he's only level 7 also. His economy is crushed, but the problem is he is hitting all of the epics. He's just getting really good RNG. So actually, I'm really happy this happened, to be honest. And this is why, is because this was another really great point that Britwit was bringing up. Like, what do I do in these situations? Because this person's getting super lucky, I'm getting super unlucky, right? I'm not hitting the epics we need. The person I'm competing with is hitting all them, right? Okay, so at this point, if I try to transition away from this, think of how weak my team is, and I'm only gonna have 46 health. I'm going to die. Like I've basically secured myself last place if I do that. On the other hand, I can just try to formulate a plan to do as well as possible. So my plan is I'm still going to go to level 8, and I'm going to make luck respect me. I'm going to make RNGesus, like, when I look back on the game, I'll at least say, you know what, statistically I should have done better, right? And that's all you can say in an RNG based game. It's like a poker player, right? All they can say at the end of the day is statistically I should have done better, or statistically I made the best play. So that's what I'm looking at. And for me, that's get up to level 8, get my full synergies in, and yeah, be able to reroll aggressively. So this person, if we look at them again, they're at 27 gold. Okay, so I'm going to have about a 20 gold lead on them, and I'm going to have level 8. So by the time they get to level 8, I'm going to have probably had maybe 20 rolls that they don't have, right? So 20 rolls, I'll have the opportunity for 20 rolls to get stuff before they can match my level, match my economy. So that's kind of my thinking. That's how I'm going to compete with them. And I do count this into transitioning. So when I talk about your team comp plus your economic strategy is a transition. Like, so we both know our team comps are the same. We're both going for hunter-based teams. So then it comes to your economic strategy. And I guess the point, to make more clear the point I was making earlier, the worst thing you can do is to match a team comp and match an economic strategy when you're behind. So mix it up. Anyways, so we're doing good. We're on to a win streak now. So the hunters are going well. We have, and let's look. Okay, and see, that person's being, I don't know, they're back and forth between hunters and hunters and warriors. And okay. And interesting, this person's even ahead of me in rank, but so that's intriguing. Okay, so he will be replacing my Tusker. So see, and here's that awkwardness of what I count as transition, right? I have a piece that's in my endgame strategy, but it's like, do I want to slip him in, right? Because And I mean, obviously, I leveled 8, I can slip him in, but okay, here's a better example. Abyssal Guard, right? I would like to put Abyssal Guard in over Stone Spirit because then I get my Marine buff, and it'll help me with all those mage teams, right? But do I want to? Am I going to switch in a 650 unit health with 5 armor for a 1300 for with 11 armor? Well, actually, he has 5 armor too. It's just he's getting the 11 from the warrior synergy. But hopefully, my point's clear. So this to me is the more traditional view of it. Okay, so anyways, we're at level 8, and I want to show you before we reroll. If you look at him, he's level 7. He has 50 gold now, and let's go see. And see, but he is 25 gold away from leveling. Perfect. I need a druid. I need a druid. Any druid. Any druid will do. Nope. Okay. Ooh, but I do want that. And now we'll wait to reroll. Okay. So we got that. I want him because with Agaris, I can get the Agaris. And I think for now we'll switch out my Medusa because I don't have a... oh, and also I can combine this. I don't have mana regen for my Medusa, and she's only 1 star. So she's very... To me, Medusa is very not useful at 1 star if she ends with no mana regen. Because it takes her forever to use her ultimate, and also her ultimate doesn't hit most of the people when she's 1 star. Once she's 2 star, she hits almost everybody on the board, then she's worth it. But slow alt plus she doesn't hit everything is just like, meh. Pass. Nope. There we go. That's another thing I want. Okay, anyways, let's switch that, like we said. Okay, so here, again, transitioning is weird because it's like, okay, I want the human over, like, Tusker, the Stone Spirit, but, right? And I think it might be time for me to just ditch the Abyssal because people are not... There's 1 mage player. There's a second, kinda, but not really mage. How do I think this mage is going to do? They have baby dragons, which is the worst. They don't even have 1 thunder spirit, so yeah, I don't think I really need the marine buff. Okay, so we're going for that. And I think we pull this through. This is the person competing with me. And see, this game just worked out beautifully for this point because they tried to make a second transition, right? They tried to transition away from hunters because maybe they didn't want to share hunters with me. And look, their second transition's costing them so much. They were ahead of me, and now they're not ahead of me. There we go. And rerolling. Nope. Nope. Oh, I should have grabbed... Actually, I should have grabbed the Trent Protector, because then I could get a 3-star of my Lone Druid. Ooh, Doom. Okay. I do want him also. Okay, so now I have all the pieces I want. So, okay, now back to the transition thing again. I have all the pieces I want in, like, the optimal, most badass warrior hunter team composition. But they're 1 stars, right? Even though they're epics, they're 1 stars. Do I want to switch out my 2 stars for them, right? Even though they're 2-star 1 cost. And that starts to become a thing. So we lose our lose streak. But if you look at their stats, 950, Pirate Captain, you could make an argument for switching out because he has the extra 5 armor. So that makes his effective health about another 300 effective health, which is significant. So that is something. We did just this for Unicorn Trick. And on that note, I think I am going to say goodbye to the Stone Spirit, right? We'll be a little bit weaker. Nope, don't want that. There we go. This puts my human synergies together. So it gives me human synergy. And then also it introduces CC to my team comp. So that's my thinking. And then I put them here because enemy teams tend to put things they want to cast ultimates in the front. So then my humans are there to silence them. And, oh, my werewolf doesn't get his ult off, unfortunately. But his pirate doesn't get his ult off. Mine does, so that's fortunate. And this is our last competition. We're fighting from his point of view, too. And, yeah. And see, he's even competing with me for Soul Reaper. So he is competing for me with things, right? But to me, his indecision, his decision to maybe do another pivot is what's going to kind of hurt him. And, okay, so he's good from his point of view. And, okay. So we got that. Berserker could be used, but I'm starting to sit on way too much gold. There we go. There we go. I'm going to roll down a bit here to tempo up, yeah, because I'm letting things drag on too much. Do that. Okay, here, now she's 2-star, so that makes decisions different, right? I could remove my Tusker, actually. I'll lose my Warrior, but I still have my Beast, and then I am introducing more CC. So I like to have multiple layers of CC in any team comp that I go for. Now I have 2 layers. I have Pirate Captain CC, and I have Medusa or Siren CC. So layering it. I could also put... and I'm going to sell him. I would like to switch in my Doom. No. So the game is getting ready to close out. That's why I'm being more aggressive in my rolling. I'm not worrying about 3 stars. We'll sit there for right now. And actually, what I'm going to do is this. So she'll lock back my ranged, and then also, yeah, so now she'll hit all the enemies when she does ultimate. Pirate Captain gets his ult off, that's good. Kind of not an optimal ultimate, but it's okay. Medusa, no. Nope, too slow. Okay, so I think I need to roll down more than this, probably. Yeah, and multiple people went to 9. Okay. So, and yeah, see, competing for Lone Druids. So yeah, he's ending up going for almost the exact same comp as me. So, nice Doom. No, tempted, but no. Nope. Grab it for selling my other one. There we go. Beautiful. Let's switch it in here. Nope. 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 One more. Nope. Okay. So I lose my human from that, but I do gain the silence from the Doom. And yeah, and then obviously the 2-star. So he gets that. Medusa's ulting. Great. Okay, everybody gets their ults off now, so that's nice. Beefy. Medusa's for her ult, by the way. Her damage is very suboptimal. Look, she's very low on my DPS meter, even though she's still alive throughout this whole fight. So, Medusa's there for the ult. That's why I'm okay putting her in the front. I'm thinking of switching out the Soul Reaper. Okay, if I can get him to 2 stars, it's different, but... There we go. Okay, well, he really didn't want to get switched out, I guess. No, we'll sit at this. Let's get our attack items. I put them on my, in this, probably on my Doom. And actually, I want to put Werewolf up there, because Werewolf I want to ult quickly, and this spot is going to take more damage on average than this. Oh, wait, what? No. Wait, what the heck? Wait, what? Why the heck did I double tap that? I guess I had to have double tapped that, but that was weird. My Medusa doesn't get it ult off. Their Medusa probably has a mana regen, would be my guess. And, oh, that might be game 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, I'm still alive, barely. Yep. Okay. Woo! Okay, so YOLO roll, and we go for it. And this game I definitely didn't manage as good. I think I'm splitting a lot of focus on the discussing the transitioning. Not to make excuses, so I probably shouldn't even say it, to be honest, because I don't want it to sound like an excuse, but... going... Ooh. Man, passing some of these is like... Nope, and it's just not with me. Okay, I want... no. Nope, it's rough. I could switch out one of the hunters, I guess. But, oh, and we're fighting the warrior. This is probably it. This is first place and also a 6 warrior, so he's going to counter me at this. Yeah, he's definitely going to counter me, but who knows? Maybe we can barely pull it off. I need to kill everything. I have to win or draw because my health is so low. So, nope. We get out. So, anyways, 4th? Yeah, we're 4th. But, okay. This is still... I want to point out something. Because this came up in the comments too, is if you notice, the person who's competing with us went out 6th, right? And like I said at the very beginning of the video, if you try to make a second transition in higher level games where people are being aggressive. And look, by round 30, 5 people are dead. Okay, so by Thunder Hides, 5 people are already out of the game. It's already top 3, right? So that's what I mean by aggressive, right? The better and better the players are, the higher you move up the ladder, people play aggressively. Games look like this, like half the people are dead by round 30. So if you try to do a second transition, you're going to end up like this person, and you are going to die very quickly. I wish they had a name that I could read. I can tell that it's a Korean name, but I have no idea what it says. But so this, I don't know, the Rook won. So 6th place. So he competed. You can look, our builds are very similar, right? Lone Druid we share, E-Ranger we share. I opted not to go Berserker. Werewolf we share. Soul Reaper we share. Pirate Captain we share. Tusker we share. So, but their thing was they tried to second transition. They were wishy-washy between the hunters and going warriors. And hopefully you saw that throughout that. So this is a great video of showing the pitfall of a second transition. And Britwit, once again, shout out. I really hope that this clarified some of the things that I was saying in the other transition video. Please let me know in the comments if anybody has any questions or any clarifications. Yeah, but I'm very happy with this game. I gotta practice my warriors. I gotta discuss a lot of the things I wanted to discuss with you guys about transitions. So yeah, anyways, that is that. I will see you all tomorrow. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will talk to you later.